Good morning. My name is Ron Borchardt. I'm a Solon East Summerfield Distinguished Professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry. I'm really honored this morning to have the opportunity to share with you a few thoughts about Ed Smithman, who was my PhD advisor, my mentor, and my friend. There are many personal memories that I have of Ed that I could share with you today. But instead I've decided to focus my comments on Ed's impact on the pharmaceutical sciences at KU. I felt that this topic was very appropriate since it has now been over 50 years since Ed came to the University of Kansas as a University Distinguished Professor and Chair of the Department of Medicinal Chemistry. Specifically, I'd like to share with you my reasons for why I think Ed should be given significant credit for the very high quality programs in the pharmaceutical sciences at the University of Kansas. Many of the thoughts that I share with you today come from an editorial that I wrote in 1987 in the journal, Lawrence Journal World, entitled Smithman and Excellence. Quoting from the editorial, Kansas University has many areas of academic excellence. Among them would be the pharmaceutical sciences, which largely encompasses the programs in the School of Pharmacy. In my opinion, a major portion of the credit for the development of the pharmaceutical sciences at KU must be given to Ed Smithman, who was University Distinguished Professor and Chairman of the Department of Medicinal Chemistry until his untimely death in July of 1974. Ed planted the seeds which, after now almost 30 years, have grown and matured into true excellence in the pharmaceutical sciences at KU. Ed and his wife, Claire, came to KU from the University of Wisconsin in 1960. Ed spent the 1960s building the graduate and research program in the Department of Medicinal Chemistry into one of the best in the country. However, Ed was not content with his accomplishments in medicinal chemistry. His big dream was to make KU the premier academic center of excellence in the pharmaceutical sciences in the world. To accomplish this goal, Ed had to have the support of the university administration and the Endowment Association in order to create programs and to recruit new faculty to KU. For example, in 1967, Ed helped recruit Takeru Higuchi to KU, close quote. As many of you know, the late Takeru Higuchi was another very important person in the history of the pharmaceutical sciences at KU. In the period from 1967 to 1983, under TAC's leadership, the graduate and training program in the pharmaceutical chemistry department at KU gained national and international recognition. TAC also helped to create at KU an environment that fostered entrepreneurship. Quoting again from my editorial, in addition to being a good administrator and an excellent scientist, Ed was a stimulator of interdisciplinary research at KU. He had the unique ability to bring together individuals in different disciplines and create an environment of cooperation and creativity, close quote. My former colleague, Professor Emeritus Richard Schowen, referred to this as the Smithman milieu. Many very significant things came from the Smithman milieu. Perhaps the most significant was a Health Sciences Advancement Award, which the NIH granted to KU in 1969. This award provided KU with resources necessary to hire 10 faculty members spread across the departments of medicinal chemistry, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology and toxicology, chemistry, biochemistry, and physiology and cell biology. Some of those faculty members included Bob Henslick and myself, who are still at KU and still helping fulfill Ed's dream of making KU the premier academic center of excellence in the pharmaceutical sciences in the world. From the seeds that Ed planted in the 1960s and early 1970s, Excellence in the pharmaceutical sciences at KU has flourished in the last 50 years. If anyone in the audience today doubts this claim, I would encourage you to visit KU's West Campus. What was a vacant field in 1960 when Ed arrived in Lawrence is now a sprawling complex of modern research buildings in which faculty members, graduate students, postdoctoral fellows, and visiting scientists are conducting cutting-edge research in various areas of the pharmaceutical sciences. In this same West Campus complex is the School of Pharmacy, which is dedicated to the education of professional pharmacy students who will help provide the medical care for the citizens of the state of Kansas for decades to come. Yet another new building in this complex is an incubator of pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies, which will in the future bring good jobs to Lawrence and the surrounding areas. Finally, I'd like to comment about Ed as a mentor and a role model. Again, quoting from my editorial, Ed's dedication and loyalty to his students, colleagues, and KU was infinite. I was fortunate to have known Ed as a student, as a fellow faculty member, and as a friend. It's impossible for me to express the extent of Ed's influence on my personal and professional life other than to say he was the ultimate role model, close quote. I'd like to conclude by saying that I feel that extremely fortunate to have met Ed approximately 47 years ago when I visited KU to interview for the graduate program in the Department of Medicinal Chemistry. Had I not met Ed Smithman and not had the opportunity to learn from him as a student and later as a young faculty member, I am certain that my professional career would have been very different and far less enjoyable and rewarding. Ed not only taught me how to be a scientist, he also instilled in me the desire to be a good classroom teacher, as well as a good mentor and role model of my graduate students, postdoctoral scientists, and visiting scientists. Hopefully I learned my lessons well from Ed, and I've lived up to his high standards during my tenure as a faculty member at KU. Thank you.